All right, so welcome to algebra. This is honestly what makes algebra algebra is the fact that most of algebra itself is just like a puzzle. Either you like puzzles or you don't like puzzles, but again, this logic problem is just trying to help you start to think your way through things. It helps you to kind of develop the toughness to fight through. So if you get frustrated working through it, it's just natural. A lot of people do. That doesn't mean you quit. It just means you have to kind of maybe walk away from it, come back to it a few minutes later when you're calm. But just remember, you're not the only person that gets frustrated with the stuff as it's going. But again, it does take for you to actually want to do it. So this problem is actually just a purely thinking problem. Consider the situations if box plus 4 equals 10, and they want to know what box is. Well, you have to think your way through it. So it's kind of like saying what plus 4 is equal to 10. Well, if I'm adding 4 to get to 10, then what I would do is I would say, well, if I'm adding 4 to get to 10, wouldn't subtracting 4 tell me what box is? So if I subtracted 4, that would tell me 6 has to be it. Or you could just pick numbers until you got it right. However you get there right now is not the key. Once we get to solving in chapter 2, we will have an official way to do it. But for right now, just be willing to kind of think through it. Like I said, 1 plus 4, nope. 2 plus 4, nope. 3, nope. 4, 5, nope. 6, yep. And then once you realize box is equal to 6, then you have your first answer. It's just a thinking problem. The better you are with numbers, the easier it's going to be. But you don't have to be great with numbers to do it. You just have to be willing to fight through to the answer. For example, if triangle plus triangle plus triangle equals 15, well, think of a number. This is being actually multiplied. Think of a number that multiplies 3 times to make 15, and then check it. Some people think 3. Well, 3 plus 3 plus 3 is actually 9. But what we actually meant to think was 5, because 5 plus 5 is 10, plus another 5 is 15. So therefore, triangle equals 5. And that's, again, the part that frustrates people, is that you do have to actually work with the numbers. You're going to try. You're going to mess up. I like to say the first bit of advice to solving a problem before you start is realizing you're probably not going to get it right the first or second time. And once you accept that, you're okay making some mistakes. But you're going to mess up as you go along, or it's going to be easy for you, because after a while you kind of see the patterns and the numbers start to kind of come to you. Anyway, the problem extends beyond this and just asks you to substitute what you know. So you've got to slow down, and you've got to make sure you first off identify a line that can be worked out. If you're looking at this here, we don't know anything about any 3 of those, so I don't want to even guess. If I look at this, I don't know anything about 2 of them, so I don't want to guess. But if you look at this line, triangle plus triangle is 12, I actually can figure this out. Again, you're going to always start out, for every one of these problems, one of them has to be solvable, so to speak. So they're going to give you 2 that you can't do anything with, and what you're looking for is the one that only has 1 symbol in it, because with 1 symbol I can figure it out. If triangle plus triangle is 12, think about a number plus itself that equals 12. That number obviously is 6. And so go down to your bottom part, put triangle for 6. That way you know what it is, you know it's solved. 6 plus 6 is 12. That's where we end. Now, you want to take this 6 to either this one or that one. Well, again, there's 2 extra symbols. Let's pick this one. So instead of triangle plus circle equals 8, let's turn our triangle, using substitution that we learned a while ago, turn our triangle into 6 plus circle equals 8. And now you're asking yourself, 6 plus what equals 8? Again, this is something we don't recognize, but 6 plus what equals 8? And obviously that answer is 2. Now you have 2 answers, and you can take it up here. Triangle represents 6, so put 6 in the space of triangle. Circle is a 2, so you put 2 in the place of circle, plus box, which I don't know, equals 11. This is kind of messy, so what we'll do is we'll put these 2 numbers together because we can. 6 and 2 make 8 plus box equals 11. And then from there, 8 plus what equals 11? That answer is 3. So again, it takes some thought. And again, it does take some energy, but it's preparing you for your algebraic part of thinking, which is really what we're here for in this class, is to be able to think your way through some things. Again, people either love algebra or they don't like algebra. It doesn't mean you can't do it either way. Like I said, even if you don't like it, doesn't mean you can't do it. I don't like reading, but I still, did well enough in my history classes and other classes where I had to read books. I like solving puzzles, so that's why I'm an algebra teacher. But just because you don't like doing something doesn't mean you can't learn to do it. It just takes extra energy and more focus. So here, I don't know what these three are, so I'm not even going to mess with this. I don't know what these two are, so I'm not going to mess with this. But notice this is the same symbol, which means this is my key. This is my starting point. If box plus box equals 10, you're talking about a number plus itself equaling 10. What number adds to itself to make 10? Obviously is 5. So put that over on the side and make sure you have it written down because you're going to need this later. Where is the line that has only two symbols? Is here. Again, I don't know what the other things are, but I know box and I know triangle is the only thing I don't know. So what I'm going to do now is substitute. Triangle I don't know, so leave it as triangle, plus box is 5 equals 7. Well, if triangle plus 5 is 7, you ask yourself what plus 5 equals 7? And the obvious answer is 2. 2 plus 5 is 7. Or, like I said, find out a way to kind of think about it where if you're adding 5 to get to 7, just do 7 minus 5 to get to 2. Whatever you do to get to that answer is your call. Again, that's where the thing gets complicated because it's your choice. It's your style. However you get there at this point is your call. So because I can't tell you exactly what to do, it's scary, it's intimidating, but it doesn't mean you can't do it. It's just, like I said, it's new to you. So then we go to the top one. Box is 5. Plus triangle is 2 plus circle, which I don't know, equals 10. And once again, I can't do anything with these two numbers here, so I put them together. 5 and 2 make 7. And then you ask yourself, 7 plus what equals 10? Again, you can pick numbers. 7 plus 1, nope, that's 8. 7 plus 2, nope, that's 9. 7 plus 3, oh yeah, that is it. And then, but it's the trial and error. And again, the biggest advice I can give you for solving problems is before you start to solve it, understand that you're probably not going to get it right your first or second time. Once you can accept that, you're okay, because it's the frustration of not making it that makes you want to quit. But once you realize it's a problem and I won't probably get it right the first or second time, then you understand it's not a game, but it's more like, let's just keep trying things out and adjusting your strategy. But outside of that, if you're still having issues, make sure you talk to your teacher. If I'm your teacher, please talk to me. And other than that, have a good day. I'll talk to you later.